Finland and Ukraine strengthen cooperation in environment and energy. Finland holds Russia accountable for environmental crimes. North Korean soldiers allegedly preparing to join Ukraine war in support of Russia. Minja Koskela elected new chair of Finland's Left Alliance, promising strong opposition. Finnish politician Mikko Kärnä apologizes for controversial past statements, reflects on political climate. Main news about the cooperation between Finland and Ukraine in the environmental and energy sectors. Finland asserts that Russia must be held accountable for environmental crimes caused by the war in Ukraine. This was the main point in a high-level virtual meeting chaired by Finland's Minister of the Environment and Climate, Kärnä, alongside Ukraine's Minister of Environment, Svietlana Hryntshuk. Finland also pledged to send emergency aid to Ukraine to help the country cope with the energy crisis, including 14 shipments containing equipment such as transformers, oil heaters, and cables. Furthermore, discussions also touched on the reconstruction of Ukraine's energy infrastructure after the war and the opportunity for Finnish companies to participate in the green transition process. According to Kärnä, the environmental crimes caused by the war in Ukraine are immeasurable, and Russia must be held responsible for reparations from frozen assets. The Strategic Communications and Information Security Center of Ukraine recently released a video showing North Korean soldiers seemingly preparing to join the war in Ukraine in support of Russia. In the video, a soldier appears to be instructing comrades in a North Korean accent. According to South Korean intelligence, North Korea has sent about 1,500 soldiers to Russia. In total, about 10,000 soldiers are expected to support Russia in the conflict with Ukraine. These soldiers have been deployed to bases in the Russian Far East, including Vladivostok and Ushansk, before being sent to the battlefield after training. This information raises concerns about an escalation in the Ukraine war, as Russia has just announced the capture of another village in eastern Ukraine. Minja Koskela, a member of parliament from Helsinki, has officially become the new chair of Finland's Left Alliance party after receiving nearly two-thirds of the votes in the party's internal election. Koskela 4,115 won out of 6,495 total votes. In her acceptance speech, she promised to pursue a strong opposition policy, opposing the government's cuts to healthcare services, environmental protection, education, and workers' rights. Koskela particularly emphasized the importance of community, democracy, and dialogue within the Left Alliance. She expressed gratitude to her predecessor, Li Andersson, for her contributions during 8 years of leadership, and affirmed that she would continue the party's direction in the coming period. With the goal of winning local and regional elections next spring, Koskela said she would focus on improving social and healthcare services while maintaining responsibility for protecting the rights of the most vulnerable groups in society. Mikko, a former Finnish MP known for his controversial social media statements, recently issued a public apology for his past extreme behavior. He previously proposed several controversial policies, such as organizing a monthly pork consumption day and legalizing chewing tobacco. He even called for hunting swans to protect wild geese populations. However, on September 14th, he admitted on X, formerly Twitter, that all current politics is nonsense, and expressed regret for participating in the game. Now serving as mayor of Rautavaara since 2023, Kärnä's communication style has become more restrained. He shared that politics is now mainly about intentional misunderstandings and unnecessary conflict building. Although he still closely follows national political issues, he no longer engages in heated social media debates, stressing the need for reflection on dialogue culture. A Mycoplasma bacterial outbreak is currently spreading, with over 4,500 cases reported this year compared to just a few hundred cases annually before. Mycoplasma pneumoniae is a bacterium that causes respiratory infections and is spread through the air. The disease primarily affects children and young adults and can cause pneumonia, sometimes requiring hospitalization. Symptoms include coughing, runny nose, fever, headache, and fatigue. A prolonged cough and red rashes on the skin due to immune response may also occur. In severe cases, mycoplasma can cause meningitis or myocarditis. While the disease is treatable with antibiotics, doctors recommend seeking medical attention if symptoms persist or worsen. To prevent the disease, hand hygiene and respiratory cleanliness are essential. In modern Finnish society, language remains a significant challenge for immigrants. Although Google Translate can help to some extent, it cannot replace cultural understanding, as a Brazilian researcher shared. A 2022 study by THL showed that nearly 10% of immigrants, over 30,000 people, are unable to speak Finnish or Swedish sufficiently to communicate. Grace Aluchi Eninamakri, a Nigerian who moved to Finland to study nursing, experienced culture shock and struggled to connect with the Finnish community due to language barriers. Although she started learning Finnish, she still felt isolated. Meanwhile, Leonardo Almeida Souza, a Brazilian researcher who has lived in Finland for 5 years, only knows a few basic words. He works in an English-speaking academic environment but feels limited in understanding Finnish culture. Google Translate does not help him fully grasp that. Finally, Abdurrahman Kakachi, a Turkish immigrant, has lived in Finland for 8 years without knowing Finnish or English. However, he has managed to survive thanks to support from family and colleagues, though the language barrier has limited his integration and work opportunities. These 3 stories highlight the challenges immigrants face despite their efforts to integrate without knowing Finnish. On the evening of October 12 in Helsinki, a group of black friends was denied entry to Jackie restaurant while a Middle Eastern and North African music event was taking place. Allah Altamimi, one of those refused entry, said that although the restaurant claimed to be full, white patrons were still allowed in. Altamimi recorded the incident and submitted the video to the police. Police said that the restaurant had the right to choose customers, but this sparked controversy. The case was sent to the Equality Commissioner, who said that customers could not be selected based on ethnicity. The restaurant's owner denied discrimination, saying they prioritized regular and invited guests. The incident caused a social media storm, with many accusing the restaurant of racism. The restaurant also filed a complaint about Altamimi and the group's disruptive behavior. The case is still under investigation. The Zaravi Sidon Resort Center in Rantar Salmi has successfully reduced its electricity consumption by 35%, saving hundreds of thousands of euros annually. 2 years ago, the center consumed up to 6.5 million kilowatt-hours, costing about 400,000 euros. However, when electricity prices skyrocketed, the electricity bill could have reached 750,000 euros. To avoid these costs, Zaravi Sidon implemented measures to optimize electricity use by installing an automated control system. This system activates devices only when electricity prices are low, such as supplying power to saunas every 3 seconds. Additionally, the resort invested in renewable energy, including geothermal and solar energy systems. As a result, this year's electricity bill is only about 550,000 euros, significantly lower than initially expected. The Landscape of the Year 2024 competition has announced its winner with the photo, Rukar, by photographer Timo Maileri, capturing a flock of ruffs flying at mesmerizing speed. This photo not only won the grand prize but also triumphed in the bird category. Taken in the spring during a flood, the flock of birds suddenly took flight right in front of Maileri. According to the jury, the photo conveys a powerful sense of motion, despite the movement being technically frozen. The jury also noted the uniqueness of the moment, an unpredictable situation requiring the photographer's readiness. The competition's total prize fund was 20,000 euros, with the grand prize being 5,000 euros. The tick season continues until the temperature drops below 5 degrees Celsius. According to Associate Professor Eero Vestirinen from the University of Turku, a long autumn does not significantly reduce tick numbers. In fact, tick populations may even increase in some regions, and ticks can still latch onto people if the area is exposed to sunlight or where deer rest. Notably, the taiga tick, a species capable of carrying diseases from eastern Finland, has raised major concerns. However, the super tick, which can transmit both common tick diseases and taiga tick diseases, has not yet appeared, and Vestirinen believes that most hybrid tick species are unable to reproduce. Scientists are currently studying potential risks associated with tick hybridization, as well as the emergence of new pathogens. Furthermore, climate change-induced warming could allow new tick species from the south to migrate into Finland. Halloween has become a popular outdoor festival in Kuopio, with Puisan Nature Reserve developing unique themed trails. Recently, the Halloween-themed trail at Puyi Zoo attracted thousands of visitors in just the first few days of opening. Spanning approximately 300 meters around the observation tower, visitors can enjoy a free experience of spooky elements and special lighting. Those who purchase tickets to enter the tower have the opportunity to participate in a horror story and enjoy panoramic views from above. Puyi Zoo Peak, the company managing activities in the area, has leveraged the dark autumn season to create a tourism attraction. According to CEO Pekarni Air Mayor Lar, the Halloween idea not only brings joy but also encourages people to go outdoors, enhancing physical and mental health. In addition to Halloween events, Puyi Zoo hosts other themed trails year-round, from Santa Claus trails during Christmas to art exhibitions along the walkways.